So let's have a closer look on that. What do you have to do? As we have seen in the first step, when you do the SWOT analysis and when you define the media strategy, one point was to define the objectives and the KPIs. For example, create traffic, create brand awareness, increase the click-through on websites, increase brand engagement, increase the number of sharing, increase loyalty. These are some examples. And then once you've fixed the objectives, you track the results and you see if actually you achieve your fixed objectives. If yes, you continue. If not, you have to adjust the program based on the results in order to optimize. It's a feedback loop to our definition of the objectives. We fix objectives, we compare the objectives with the real results. If there's a negative discrepancy, then we have to adjust. If we have more, or if we achieve at least our objectives, then we don't have to adjust. For example, if your objective is to increase brand awareness from 50% to 60% and you only achieve 50%, then you have to adjust because actually the tools you used were not optimal. But that's which are the KPIs we could fix. So first of all, the reach. We want to reach people or potential customers, which are the number of people exposed to the message. So the more you reach people, the more you create brand awareness. So if our objective is to create brand awareness, reach, that is the number of people exposed to the message, is one of the important KPIs. We have the frequency. It's not only important to reach people, but also we want that they see different times our message. We know in advertising efficiency, the more we expose people or users or customers to a message, the higher will be the impact in terms of memorization or recall, also in terms of purchase behavior. So another KPI would be increase the number of messages in order to increase the average number of times where the people are exposed to the message. So this is more for customer acquisition, the reach and the frequency. The next KPI concerns loyalty or site stickiness. It's really loyalty, which means is the website, is the fan page or is the social commerce site able to generate repeat purchase behavior or repeat visits and keep the people? In other words, are we able to generate loyalty so that customers always come to our website to buy only on our website and to become loyal? Then we have the click-throughs, are the number of people exposed to the online or social media ad and who actually click on. So if we come back to social commerce, it's not only important that the customers see our fan page. It is important to actually transform the visit on the social media website into sales. And that is why we measure also how many people come through the social commerce link on our website and click on it. And we can then measure the click-throughs. The first click is when he comes on the landing page, where customers arrive on the website of an e-commerce platform, and the click-throughs, how many web pages finally the customer has clicked through and has looked at. The deeper it is, the more you can consider, the more the customers spend time on your website and the more he or she is interested also in the content of the website. And finally, most important are the sales conversions, which are the number of people who click through online or on a social media ad and who actually click through and purchase the product. So if you have 100 click-throughs and only 50 sales, then your sales conversion would be 50%. 50% who bought divided by 100 customers who click through. So the higher the sales conversion, for example, 100 people click through and 100 people purchase, you would have 100 divided by 100, a 100% sales conversion. This would mean that all people who come on your landing page or on your web page purchase and you have a 100% sales conversion. So these are the KPIs to define. They vary according to the objectives. A brand like L'Oréal want to reach want to increase purchase frequency. They want to create loyalty, that customers stay loyal on the web page. They want to increase the click-throughs, that people do not only look at lipsticks, but also at eye blush or other makeup. And naturally, they want that when customers come on the web page, transform the click-through in sales. For a new brand, the first objective is to reach a large number of people, because a new brand has not a large brand awareness. So the first objective would reach potential customer prospects. And a second objective would be increase the frequency, because if people see only your advertisement or your social media campaign once, it's probably not enough to create brand awareness. So it would be important to repeat the message so that the people see different times your social media campaign in order to create brand awareness. And then in the next step, once you have customers, you want to increase the click-throughs so that they click through to your website to see what you're also offering. And finally, it would be important that these click-throughs will be transformed in sales, because you cannot earn money only by people looking at your products. So you have to convince them to finally purchase. So progressively, in the first step, it's important to create brand awareness, should create reach and frequency. And in a second step, it would be important to increase click-throughs and sales conversions. How can you do that? First of all, how can you increase the reach and the frequency? For example, through Google campaigns. You have to find adequate keywords so that you will be ranked high in Google PageRank. You know that people generally only look at the first page of Google. When you're ranked on the second page, it's lost because nobody looks at the second page. And even worse, people look only at the upper part of the page. So that is why it's important to pay and to make paid media, to be page ranked with your advertisement in the Google ranking in the beginning, so that you reach people. You can combine that with social media campaigns in order to increase reach. Second, by multiplying the messages, you should increase frequency in order to create brand recalls, that they recall your brand and come to your website. And once you have a kind of prospect base, it is important to enroll them in your social media page so that they become fan on Instagram or Facebook. You should give an incentive. One incentive, what we use in marketing, are sales promotions, for example, a discount, to make them click through to your website, to find your offers. And finally, it's then important to convert them into sales, so that they not only look at your offer, but that they buy. Sales promotions are the typical marketing tools we use to convert customers into purchases.
Then you define the KPIs on the social media. Here is one example for the KPIs defined for Facebook.
So first of all, the number of the posts. You want to increase the posts of people who post, for example, photos or comments. This can be done, again, by giving incentive for posting, discounts or gifts. Then you increase the number of posts. You also want to increase the number of likes, because they become part of your fan page. So you can thus increase the number of people, of prospects, which are on your fan page and which you can reach with posts of your customers. And you want also to increase the number of shares. Whenever people comment, post comments or post photos, the more they share, the more also you will create brand awareness, and the more people will also press like your brand page and come into your brand community. You want to increase the mentions. That is the number of times that user mentions and links a page in a post. If you have webinars, for example, you might invite people to join an event, which is another measure of customer engagement. Customers participate in webinars. This is, for example, something we do for our DBA, organizing regularly webinars on the internet, where we send out an invitation to all our community of the Business Science Institute, and where we also do advertisement campaigns on LinkedIn in order to invite them to join our webinar, where we talk about the benefits of a doctorate business of administration. And we want to increase the number of positive reviews. That is, where customers complete the review on the Facebook page. It might be a written review. It might be also a YouTube video that somebody places on Facebook or Instagram in order to talk positively about your products and about your brand. So you can see here the metrics are summarized according to the goals or objectives you're pursuing, you have different metrics on relation building. If you want to create a relationship and to acquire a new customer, that is, you want to recruit new people that join your Facebook page or your Instagram page, the objective is to grow social media audience. And that is why reach, frequency, the number of fans and the number of likers and followers are the adequate metrics. If you want to increase your community reach, how many people you reach with your Facebook campaign or social media campaign, how many times you reach them, how many of them become fans or followers of your brand. Another objective might be brand engagement. So once the people are fans on your fan page, the adequate objectives is to increase the number of likes, the number of comments, but also it might be also the number of downloads if you have videos to download, the number of positive word of mouth, the number of reviews, the number of posts, the number of content creation, that is, for example, videos or podcasts, and how many times these were shared. All these are indicators that you can measure Facebook analytics. Another tool might be community-based learning. So learn about if customers are satisfied or not. Your objective would be feedback. And then the optimal tool will be sentiment analysis. There you will analyze what people think positively or negatively about your brand. You listen to your customers. This is what I said. It's better than measure satisfaction on a scale between 1 to 10. It's better to make them talk and to analyze the topics, the words they say, and to get a deeper insight into the sentiments. And finally, generate purchase intents, and so transform the feedback and transform the relationship into purchase behavior. What you want is that people buy your brand, so drive online purchases, and there actually you have tools, web analytics and referrals to purchasing sites, so you can measure actually how many people click through your social commerce links, how many times they click through to your website, what is the time they spend on the website, do they spend a lot of time, how many pages they click through from the landing page, and how many actually buy, in order to measure sales conversions, and actually do they stay loyal to your brand or to your website, which is also called site stickiness. So you can see these are the traditional marketing objectives: customer knowledge, awareness, customer acquisition, customer satisfaction, and customer purchasing. And you have for all of them tools that enables you to measure individually for every customer the impact of your social media campaign on customer acquisition, customer satisfaction, conversion, and customer purchasing. So you can measure actually if positive word of mouth impacts sales conversion, or if sharing, if you see if somebody shares a post with other customers, you can see if the number of likes, that the number of people in your community increases, and actually if then these people go directly through the links you're making available, if these people finally purchase on your website. And that's the big difference. This is called one-to-one marketing, not mass marketing. For clearly L'Oreal is clearly on all of these objectives. A new brand is clearly more on relation building and customer awareness. But subsequently, very quickly, it has to transform the number of likes and the number of people in the community into purchase intents and to measure satisfaction. Once you have established these objectives, the next step is you will track them, you will measure if you achieve the objective. If your objective is to have a sales conversion of, let's say, 80%, and if you only achieve 50% of sales conversion, you have a problem. Then you have to review your objectives. Perhaps they are too ambitious. Perhaps you do not use adequate campaigns. You have also reformulate your campaign. If you want to recruit new customers, perhaps you have to give more purchase incentives or rewards. So you establish comparisons, your objectives compared to the reality, to the real metrics. If you have a negative discrepancy, so if you're below the objectives, you have to review the objectives and you have to review your campaign. If you achieve your objectives, you might maintain your campaign. You fix the timeline. You collect transactional data, how many people buy. This is coming from your transactional e-commerce or social commerce website. You track the likes, you track the posts, you track the comments, you collect the data, and you compare, and eventually you have to reformulate. I think I have an example.